Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Quantum Health Connection podcast. My name is Heather Crimson, and I'm here with Vanessa Baldwin, my amazing co-host. And today we interviewed Matt, who is the CEO of Chroma. This is a company that builds various devices to reconnect human biology with nature. The cool thing about Matt is he actually started out as a customer of Chroma, and he was one of the first people to feel the real impact of its technology. When the company was about to shut down, he stepped in to keep it alive, and now it is thriving. For the past 4 years, Matt has been the driving force behind Chroma's growth and uncompromising ethos of making tools designed around biology, pricing them rationally, and treating customers like adults. How did you like our interview with Matt, Vanessa?
Oh, what a nice, good, authentic soul. So glad we got to connect with him and meet him. And he's making amazing, products that are really supportive for people's health when it comes to light. And they're making their light environment more optimal for those of us who do have to be inside at times, especially in winter months and things like that, or just need like therapeutic doses of things, right? So he's got all kinds of amazing devices that he has. And he is just a really good person, you can tell, who's really making good quality products. And it's very comes from the heart because he's been through it, his own journey himself, where struggling with a seasonal affective disorder by, not having enough light in his environment. And he felt the difference with the adding, this light into his life, and it made a big, huge impact on him. So I love that origin story where it came from, and I love everything that he's got. I personally have his yellow blue blockers and his red blue blockers, and I really, really like them, especially the red ones because they're really useful to use. Like he has a little bit of purple in them that comes through, like so you can kind of still see your way around, which is really nice. And I have his sky portal, which I am super excited about to use this winter as well. So I'm personally using his products and like them very much and enjoy having them. So yeah, I think they're a great resource. They're a great tool. I love even how he said it's a band-aid, because really, where do we belong? We belong getting all of our light from being outside, right? But we live in this modern world, and that is not always possible. So it's nice to have these band-aids that are therapeutic towards our health, right? That we
Yep.
can use. And I love that he even said that himself. Like he knows sunlight is the right way to go, right? And if you want to try one of his products, my code there is Bright Light Wellness. So you can go check him out. But yeah, the quality is definitely there. I can see that in the ones that I have. So I like that.
Yeah, Band-Aids support healing, not in the negative sense of covering something up or something negative. It's about supporting healing. So I think they're fantastic devices. I hope to get some soon. I don't have any yet, but I will.
Yeah.
And the quality and the performance of these devices is most important. So they don't have the same sleek look as other companies may have. But to me,
Mhm.
I'd much rather have the quality and the performance being spot on, and that's what these products are. So they really embody that principle of the high standards. So I really appreciated Matt. He's an amazing person. He really gets it. And he's very passionate about this company, and they're expanding. So we'll bring you more information in the future to the cool new things that they're going to be presenting, including some culinary ones. So and actually, they have that available now, but we'll put in the show notes because it's slipping my mind the name of it right now.
Lola, I think it was
Oh
Lola.
yeah, Lola.
A
Yes,
high product.
Lola.
So the Kai's company is Get Chroma. So you can go to getchroma.com. And then there's also the Lola product is the high quality macadamia and coconut oil that he's using is getting as well. So he's hitting two avenues there. So and more things to come. He's a big entrepreneur, has more ideas, and we're excited to see where it takes him. And yeah, maybe have him back on again to share that when those things come to fruition. So that'd be so fun. So we really hope you enjoyed this episode, and thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the show, Matt. Thank you so much for being here. We're excited to chat with you today about Chroma.
Thank you, thank you. I am as well. This is it's exciting.
Yeah,
Yes,
awesome.
welcome. And I'm so curious about how you got here. So you've spent the last few years building tools to fix something most people don't even realize is broken because people don't think about light. So what is it exactly that pulled you into the world of light in the first place? How did you get here?
Yeah, definitely. So I grew up in Florida, in sunny South Florida, where for most of my life didn't have to think about light, didn't have to it was just something that honestly you were trying to avoid a lot of the times. It's way too hot out and you're going inside. But apparently even just getting out to the beaches or getting outside occasionally outside in Florida was enough. Light really didn't come onto my radar until I moved up to the Pacific Northwest here around Seattle area, and yeah, the sun just kind of disappears for up to half the year sometimes.
May I
And
ask how long you've been there?
yeah, about been up here about 5 years now. About
Oh, so it's been a
about six
while.
years now actually. Oh no, geez, time is going by. It's been about 7 years.
It's
Wow.
been a while then for the light to affect you. And so just a side note, if you don't mind, Matt, because we talked about this before we started recording, that I grew up in Washington State. And so I have a distinct, like visceral sense of the darkness and the very brief light in the summer, but it was mainly cloudy and rainy a lot of the time. So it's a real thing.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, in the space here, a lot of people say, even when it's overcast and raining, you're still getting a lot of light. But as someone coming from Florida and living up here, it's rainy and overcast. I'm staying inside, so that just really leads you to spending most of your days inside. I work at a computer anyway, a lot of the time, so it's inside staring at a screen all day, not in the sunlight. And in the winters, the sun's already set by the time I would be able to go outside anyway. And so it was just, yeah, fell into this kind of depression that I had never experienced before, and just was at the point where, needed to find some solution, needed to find something to make it better. My first winter up here, I actually, I hightailed it back to Florida for a few months just to get some
Wow.
sunlight. Didn't know
Understandable.
that at the time that was what I was looking for, but you feel a lot better in the sun. But ended up moving back up to Seattle because the nature and the beauty up here is just unmatched in my opinion. Um,
Mm.
and was same thing happened next winter. So starting to see a trend here, starting to figure this out. Was reading a little bit more, came across seasonal affective disorder. Was like, oh yeah, that's almost definitely the thing. um, I was fortunate enough to meet the founder of Chroma, who is a materials engineer, aerospace guy, who was just doing these kind of things as a side project, really, to also help his own mental state and the issues that he was experiencing by living up in the Pacific Northwest. Um, so I got myself a Sky Portal, the early version of that. That was pretty janky at the time, but within a day or two, it honestly it was phenomenal. I went into it as a skeptic, as somebody who was really not expecting this to work, or like, I was just at the end of the line. I was like, let me try something, and within a few days, I was feeling really good. I was feeling much better. The motivation was back. The drive to do things. Didn't hate sitting at the computer doing work anymore. Just yeah, life got a whole lot better really quickly, and I was really at that point sold that light could have an enormous impact on biology, on your mental health, on just everything. So I spent a few weeks digging into the research there, and just was really impressed that there's actually thousands and thousands of studies on on the impact that light has on the body. And so it's yeah, definitely from the outside it seems like kind of a woo woo thing, kind of a little mystic, a little out there, but it's actually extremely well studied. So after convincing myself that this is a real phenomenon, with the data, with my personal experience, I reached out, and it made such a big difference in my life that I just had to get involved. I had to make sure that this could get into more people's hands. And so yeah, I got in touch, and just from there it's just started bootstrapping the company. I had learned that the company was actually about to be abandoned, just because this was a side project at the time, and these were it was all about to go away, and I didn't want that to happen, partially for my own good. Just having found something that works, and seeing that go away would be a real shame. But got involved, and just started growing the thing, updating our images, our pictures, our videos, everything there. And now we're about 4 years in, and we're big enough where you've heard of us, so we're doing something right.
I love that you call it the sky portal because seasonal affective disorder, I think, is so common. And that's the main way that I think people start to realize light is actually something that's really significant in our overall health and mental health. And it's a portal. It's like a doorway into that world. And hopefully people will follow it more than just thinking, oh, I just need to get this light to sit on my desk, that they'll think about in deeper ways how light affects them and then get a quality light like the ones that you guys sell.
Oh
Mm,
yeah, oh absolutely. It's one of those things that once you know that it affects you, it becomes really obvious when you're like under some bad light, under some flickering light, under something that's really heavy in the blue and just doesn't feel good on your brain. Um, but yeah, to your point, I it was it was after having this revelation in my own life that I kind of started making really big changes. I'd intentionally get up and see the sunrise. I'd go outside more, just spend a lot of time in natural light. I think that's really the key message overall is like light is what you're looking for, and buildings are not designed to give you enough light to allow your biology to work as it is intended to, just out in the light, accepting the photons, making ATP. And just it's uh it's a huge paradigm shift that again seems kind of out there, but as soon as you spend a week doing it yourself, the results speak for themselves. It's enormous.
absolutely. Absolutely. I love your story. It's like so authentically you came to this knowledge, right? And all of this wisdom and this relationship you built with light and getting yourself out there and the lux alone outside, even on a cloudy day, is so much brighter outside than it is inside, right? So that alone right there is going to make a huge impact on just your mood and your mental health,
Oh yeah.
things. So it
And I
is
mean, even that. Oh, sorry. I
no,
was just saying, even that really touches on the opposite problem. Is everyone, most people know that at least in the space now that you want light during the day, but blocking that light in the evening is just as important, if not more important. Is the darkness component
yeah,
is very important for sleep, for hormones, for just general regulation. So like you were saying, like it's significantly brighter outside than it is inside during the day, but it's also nearly 100 times brighter inside than outside at night in most situations.
yes, we're backwards.
Oh yeah.
We're
Yeah.
backwards from what we actually should be experiencing. Really, really, really bright days and dark nights, but we have like dull days and really bright nights, which is really flip-flopping our entire circadian rhythm and health. And our biology is driven by that light. And then we all wonder why we all have so many health issues. And like, oh, well, that makes some sense now. So
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's not even that the light inside is just dim. Like just dim, maybe we could deal with it if the spectrum was reasonable, but we
yes.
have this proliferation in the world of what are called blue phosphor pump LEDs, and so you have a huge spike in the spectral range of the dark blue, which is this blue light hazard zone. It's the that
Mhm.
430 to 460 ish range. Um, Same range that your blue pixels in your phone produce. And so you're just being bathed in this light that doesn't do much for your biology, likely destroys dopamine in the context of the phones, hijacking your dopamine systems anyway, and just keeping you addicted, keeping you depressed there. Um, and so that's really something that just the brightness alone of your light is really not all you're looking for. It's really that spectral energy in the right bands. If you're not stimulating the biology that is expecting the light, then you shouldn't expect the results from getting the light on you.
Yeah, 100%. Matt, tell us about how it's really important for us to get the right light during the day because we talk so much in this space about making sure we block artificial light at night, which is so important to make sure that our cortisol melatonin patterns are really optimally functioning, our circadian rhythm is optimally functioning. And it's a great step to be blocking artificial light at night, right? It's huge. You want to get away from that at night. We want to have those dark nights like we were talking about. But tell us why it's so important to have the right light during the day and what we should be doing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So it's really it's the same story but in reverse. It's exactly what you're saying. It's that hormone control, that our natural circadian rhythm is expecting bright light during the day and dark light at night. And the it's really the stimulation during the day that most people find makes more of a difference for their sleep than blocking the blue light.
Yes.
Like I think just adding in the blue light blockers makes a huge sleep if you're totally disrupted and you're someone who's on your phone in the evening a ton anyway. But I think the next stage to that is getting enough good light during the daytime, and specifically stimulating the opsins, the proteins in your body that are expecting this light and that are the drivers of your circadian rhythm. And so, like I mentioned before, like for a long time, the 10,000 lux is your recommendation. It's get a bunch of bright light during the day and you'll be better. Which is a good heuristic, but it's like I said, it's not technically accurate. What you really need is your stimulation of your melanopsin, and you need your stimulation of the other proteins across the spectrum that are expecting this light that drive your circadian rhythm. So one key range that stands out is that cyan range, is that blue green around 480 485 nanometers. That is roughly the peak of melanopsin sensitivity, and that is arguably one of the most important bands of light to get during the day to both give you that daytime energy, focus, brain activity, and then also allow you to naturally fall asleep at the end of the day when that like daylight signal, when that morning signal turns off. So it's it's more than just getting the light during the day, I think, or sorry, blocking the light at night. One of the main feedback that we get, one of the most common responses from our customers after trying the products for a while is both that their daytime energy is improved, but dramatic improvements in sleep after introducing the right light during the day. So I'd say, if sleep is like one of your priorities, which most people now, that's something we're all trying to optimize, is make sure you're getting enough light during the day. And really there you can start with the sun, and if you're not able to get enough sun, then we have some band-aids to help there.
Yeah, always go for nature first, right? As
Absolutely.
we can, if you can get outside as much as you can. But we have the reality that sometimes, listen, I live in New York in the winter. I cannot be outside as much as I would love to be. It is cold and it is hard, and I have to, be inside. And I'm really looking forward to using the sky portal this winter because I know it's going to be, because I have felt exactly what you felt. And we have, like, I can feel like after some dark months of the winter, feeling like, oh, I really could use some bright light and sunlight, and I'm really missing it. And even when it gets cloudy for a couple days here in a row, like, and we had that just recently, we've had the weirdest spring and summer here. It's beautiful today, but a lot of cloudy days like in a row. And I'm like, man, it's like you just really are craving that. You really, like, it's a nutrient that we really crave. So I will go down. Like, I have made it a point the last couple of years to go south, during the winter. But this year I'm really hoping the sky portal is going to be a really beautiful addition to my indoor lighting and keeping that in a good space. And it's been great so far too. And I throw that on, and I throw on some incandescents, and I feel like I'm really getting a lot of, nourishing light in my environment, which is really great.
Definitely. Yeah, and yeah, you make a good point with the incandescents, where the other problem with classic indoor lighting now, or not even classic, but this modern, not great indoor lighting. Well, it also has this huge spike in the dopamine destroying, like, blue light hazard range. It also lacks nearly any deep red and near infrared, which,
Correct.
as you're very aware of, excellent for your cells, excellent for your mitochondria, just arguably essential for natural human function. So yeah, it's not in our heads. It's absolutely a real phenomenon.
Yeah, we actually run on light, and we actually really need light.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, just touching on the sky portal there, the we live in a house, we live in houses, we live indoors, and we have to see our environment in the evening. We have to be able to walk around. So red light glasses are a great solution for that. But what I've been enjoying personally is the sky portal on the amber mode, or even our red portal on full deep red, where it's just very low stimulation, but you can still see your environment. You're not having to wear extra glasses. It's just kind of sets the tone for the evening, especially with with the kids going down for bed. The amber light comes on, and just the whole family kind of understands it's the end of the day. It's time to calm down. We're regulating ourselves. We're taking deep breaths. We're reading our books, and it's bedtime soon. And then everyone falls asleep a lot faster when you're not blasting yourselves with this bad light right in the evening before trying to sleep.
Yeah. You're not telling yourself it's daytime again, right? And I
Yep,
love it with Sky
exactly.
Portal. It's very simple to just switch. It's very simple. Once you have it set up, you just turn the dimmers, turn the photons down, turn to the amber side, and it it's really, really simple to use, and it's a great tool to have. And what a beautiful thing that you're doing for your two little ones, like setting them up with this at such a young age. I'm just like, oh my goodness, I love it. It just makes me,
Thank you.
for me,
Yeah.
it
Oh
makes
man,
my
I'm
heart smile like so much, because they are going to grow up in such a nourishing environment in that way, and I love it. So
yes. Yeah. I'd say between yeah, most people who run red light companies or light companies in general probably have yeah, very aligned children, very healthy kids who get their sunlight.
Good for everybody. It's good for everybody.
Absolutely.
yeah.
So Matt, speaking of red light, let's talk about your devices, your red light devices. So most of like the ones I have, they are flat. They're right next to me. I know some people put them on the wall. They're kind of the same. But your Iron Forge, right? It's different. So it's a small, compact design. And tell us about what that's about, like the form factor in
Yeah.
the Iron Forge and your other devices.
Sure, definitely. So the form factor really comes from, again, from a need from the founder originally, when coming up with this device, had a pulley injury, a finger pulley injury from climbing, and so connective tissue issue. That's actually how he came to find red light in general as a modality for healing, is just looking for a way to accelerate his healing. But it, on the market, there's really nothing that puts a lot of energy in a single area, so you can do that targetability. Yeah, you can wave your hand in front of a panel, but you're really not getting a lot of light in the area that you're actually trying to improve. So, the design idea with the Iron Forge is just cram a lot of red and near infrared light with a focus on the near infrared. It's about an 80% near infrared spectrum into
Nice.
a very small area. The device is about the size of a brick, and so you can, target specific areas of your body that you either have an injury on, or you're just looking for a little extra support there. Um, yeah, most red light devices are really just like greenhouse panels for growing plants with the LEDs swapped out. And so it's really, I'm not a tray of vegetables, I'm not a big rectangle, and so I prefer most of the light from the device that I'm using to actually hit my body and go into me. So that's really what this allows, is that targetability, the close contact. You're getting a fairly high radiance dose. We in a short amount of time, we call it, or kind of refer to it as, time compressed sunlight, where you're getting, maybe an hour or two of sunlight within a few minutes of exposure on any area that you're treating. So you can really, yeah, get an effective dose in minutes to seconds to minutes, really, instead of hours in front of like a classic panel. That's really, when you run the numbers on a lot of the devices out there, at the distance that they're expecting you to use them from, or telling you to use them, you're really getting about the level of red and near infrared that you'd get from sunlight, or a little bit less in a lot of cases, which again
Mm.
is not a bad thing. I'm not poo-pooing these other devices. To getting some red and near infrared in your room, absolutely effective, absolutely helpful, but that's not what we were trying to solve for. We're really trying to solve for the specific use case of getting a lot of light deep into your tissue in a specific area or injury.
It's about a therapeutic dose, right?
Exactly.
And really getting it directly onto the skin, because it's safe to put right on your skin, it looks like, right? And you put it right on the area that needs support.
Yep, yeah, it does, we're putting out a ton of power, so it does heat up. We don't recommend
Mhm.
leaving it in one spot for all too long, but, we
Yeah.
kind of analogize it to a hair dryer, where, you'll naturally move it around well before you're at risk of any kind of thermal damage.
Mm. Okay. Tell us about your vitamin D lamps. I'm looking at your website right now. Tell us about those.
Sure, yeah, so the D-Light is what we call it. That's our only device that includes that UVB for vitamin D generation, and it really came to be looking at the spectrum that really matters for vitamin D generation. It's right around, maybe plus or minus a few nanometers, around 297 nanometers. So it's that UVB range. We really only need a very narrow section of light to actually produce vitamin D. And when you look at the solutions that are out there with these, fluorescent UVB tubes, they're producing. They call themselves, narrow band, but they're really producing a fairly wide spectrum of UVB light with a lot of energy outside of the action spectra that you actually need to generate UVB. So we really, and then on top of that, they're unopposed with any red or near infrared. So you're just getting that UVB without any balance. You would never get something like that in nature. You would never get, just isolated UVB without anything in the red and near infrared range to balance that. So we kind of looked at the problem from first principles, and just looked at the action spectrum for vitamin D, determined, and though there are many studies on the or a handful of studies on the effectiveness of UVB LEDs for vitamin D production. So yeah, we compress that power, so the only UV you're getting is in the range that your body can actually use to create vitamin D. We're not having any, or we're not having a significant amount of UVB below that or above that. There's nothing. We kind of look at the fluorescent options as producing a lot of light that is potentially carcinogenic, right? You have high energy photons that are not being used to create vitamin D, and so they could be colliding with other things and breaking DNA, doing the damage that light can do. We also find that it's very important to balance your UVB with your red and your near infrared. Studies show that reduces the risk of burns. It reduces or upregulates some of the protective mechanisms within the skin. And so the D light combines red, near infrared, deep red with that UVB, so that you have a more balanced spectrum that you can quickly sweep over your body and get a sufficient dose of vitamin D for the day that you produced on your own naturally.
It looks amazing, like very balanced, very natural, and very targeted. Like it's super efficient, and you're more friendly to your body overall, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, exactly, and it's the same principle as the Iron Forge, where we're delivering a lot more UVB in that range than sunlight, and so you have a bit of a time compressed element to that as well, where you can get upwards of 1,000 units of vitamin D in just like around 30 seconds of use in type 2 skin. Right. So yeah, we recommend that's constant motion, sweeping over your torso and your legs.
Oh, you're moving it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It was very noisy here. We had to come inside, as you can see, guys, because I had leaf blowers. So it's hard to hear you, but okay. Yeah. So you're moving it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. You're either moving it over your body, or yeah, you can mount it or use it on a surface and then use it at a distance, similar to the Spurdy, where you're getting your whole body or much more of your body exposed at one time. Of course, at the distance, you'll need a longer session duration for a similar dose. Just light spreads out. That's how that works. But the main point is balancing that UVB with the red and the near infrared, as well as keeping that spectrum only where your body actually needs it.
Right. I think that's a really good important point to bring up for people who are not aware. Say they have a Spurdy vitamin D lamp and they use it, or they have a vitamin D lamp. If you're not getting infrared at the same time, that can be a little bit more on the harmful side, because it's just the narrow band of the UV. That doesn't happen in nature. It never would, because all the red frequencies would always be out whenever UV is out. So if you do use some sort of vitamin D lamp, you would want to make sure that you're opening windows, using another red light therapy panel with it that's getting in the the near infrared and the red, because the near infrared is going to act. It's like the antidote. It activates that subcellular melatonin, which is going to like support the healing and the regeneration. That, not that the UV is causing any damage, but if there was, that near infrared light comes in as like the backup, so if you are listening and you are using a vitamin D lamp, you would want to use it with a red light therapy panel or opening the windows or something. But in this case, you have some built in, right? So that's a much better, safer option, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. There's no time in nature where you're going to get UV light unopposed without the red and the near infrared there.
Yeah. Amazing.
So we did the sky portal, which Vanessa has behind her. For those of you watching the video, we talked about the Iron Forge for deep tissue support in summary, but then in the D light for vitamin D synthesis. Now tell us, Matt, about the Lux Vital, your other product.
Sure. Yeah. So that's by far our most bioactive device, and arguably the most active light device that exists right now. It features both a very wide range of red and near infrared light, all the way up to that 1050 nanometer range for that brain support. And then, but the most of the output power in the Lux Vital is in the cyan and the violet range, primarily violet. And the point of that is to stimulate the opsins, your opsin 3, 4, and 5, which, to throw the names, melanopsin, encephalopsin, and neuropsin. Main circadian drivers here. Your melanopsin is what we talked about before. That's your main driver of your circadian rhythm. And then you have the other proteins. These other opsins are important for everything from metabolism to brain health to memory. The metabolism play there is actually fairly interesting, where there's both studies that show when you're exposed to well, even just on the red light side, when you're eating under red light, for example, you don't have as big a hit on your blood sugar.
Yep.
And then the violet also modulates your metabolism there, where you can handle a lot more carbohydrates. You can in the summer, fruit are around, you're naturally eating more sugary, more carbs, and that's the way nature intended it, right? If you're eating locally,
Right.
you're eating with the seasons, you're eating what can be produced in your light environment. And if you're also getting that light that is growing the fruit, your body is ready for it. Your body is actually digesting the food that you're eating differently than it would be in the winter when you're not exposed to this high levels of, or higher levels of UV light or even violet light. And so yeah, the Lux Vital kind of hits all the bases. Is kind of our daytime exposure. It's if you're someone who doesn't get outside a lot, and you work inside, but you're really struggling with your sleep, with your daytime energy, the Lux Vital comes in excellently there. One of the main feedback we get, is in addition to the daytime energy, it's improved sleep, like I mentioned before. It's that's just adding in 3 to 5 minutes with the Lux Vital during the middle of your day, or even the morning of your days. That morning stimulus goes a long way to set your circadian rhythm, to get you back in tune with nature, and then again to prepare you for sleep when the day is over.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess I have a question about the wearing glasses, because I know that some people do and a lot of people don't in the quantum biology community. So if you're wearing the glasses, how does that affect how the light will enter your eyes?
Were you talking about the ones that
The
or
protective
the protective
glasses.
one, not blue blockers? Okay, I was
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, we do include protective glasses with the Lux Vital for the violet primarily. Um, technically we are eye safe with what with the frequencies that we're using in that device, but the glasses are included in an abundance of caution there, just because these are higher irradiance in that range than you'd normally see, and the LEDs are point sources essentially, so you have really bright points that are that you don't want to necessarily expose to your eyes. um,
mm,
but the glasses do have a bit of there's a bit of a gap around the glasses, and just the incidental light that gets to your eyes, even around the glasses, is going to be impacting impacting melanopsin and impacting the other opsins within your eyes. But these proteins also exist all over your body,
right
in
on the skin as
yeah,
well.
on the skin, in your cells, in your organs internally even. And so we're not so much focused on getting this light from the Lux Vital specifically into your eyes. It's more about getting it on your body and into your body, where the Sky Portal is more focused on the eyes, where your ideal position for the Sky Portal be in front of your desk, in your field of vision, where you're directly stimulating your eyes, where most of the melanopsin lives in your body.
Right. Melanopsin, for those who don't know, it's a light detector, right? It detects light. So in case anybody was not wondering what that light word meant.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And then so I'm curious because you were just talking, this brought up a question for me, and it's really just a personal curiosity question of what you feel like, because like I said, I had a spurty vitamin D lamp for years, and I was like, for a while I was like, I don't think I should use this in the winter because I feel like it's a circadian mismatch. I'm like telling my body that there's UVB, but there's not, and I'm not eating like because I eat a seasonal diet and I eat like that, and I was like, should I really be using this? Like, so then I stopped using it in the winter for like a couple of winters. And then this winter, I kind of was like, I feel like I need some vitamin D, like towards I guess it was probably, but it was like around the time of like February when the UVB was like back in my environment, but it was like certainly not warm enough to be laying out in the sun, right? Like, or just to be like enjoying that. And I was like, okay, so then I started using it again. But I'm just curious, like, what do you think about that? Is that a mismatch in your eyes? Like when you use like a light spectrum that is not necessarily available in your latitude? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and I mean, I think in light therapy overall, in really any subject, there's tons of nuance around it, and so you
Yeah.
touched on a big one is yeah, a lot of the year in many places you're not getting that UVB stimulation naturally, and so yeah, introducing that, I'm not going to tell you to do it one way or the other. I think for me personally, when I came to Chroma, I was severely disconnected from nature. I was not in alignment with my circadian rhythms. I was just yeah, up way too late, and so being so mismatched, I found personally that adding all of these modalities in was extremely helpful for me. My vitamin D levels were quite low. Hadn't tested them before going into this rabbit hole, but yeah, we're quite low, and that was concerning enough for me where the mismatch with seasonality was not a big a deal at that point. But
Hmm.
I'd say now that I'm more in tune with nature, I'm spending a lot more time outside. I'm spending a lot more time, thinking about the light that I'm getting. Um, Now I'd say, yeah, unless your vitamin D is perhaps clinically low or like really at a point where you really need that. It's probably best to yeah, like you were saying, stick with nature, get the vitamin D, especially during the day, but probably not during the winter time. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, with all of our devices, there's really ideal times to use them during the day. Um, like the Sky Portal that you have on right now. If you have that daytime channel on at night, you're doing the opposite of what you should be doing. If you're wearing your blue blockers outside during the day, like yeah, you're not helping yourself there. It's
Right,
not about
exactly.
fashion.
I think it's
um,
such a good point, Matt, because sorry to interrupt you, but it's like we have to meet people where they are
Yes.
and their receptivity, their understanding, their health status, how much energy they have to even, make changes in their life health wise. So some people, there's a whole spectrum. Some people love the devices. Some people think it's ridiculous and you should just only use nature. Well, we need to find a happy medium and help people. And I love what you just said, Matt, because it's like if the devices help, like high quality ones like yours that we're talking about, help people to up level their health, to actually get them in balance, is, I mean, at least they're using them in the right time of day, like you just said, like, use this one this time and use this one that time. So they have that knowledge. That knowledge was, to me, again, what opens the door to helping them understand there's a bigger picture here. So then I love your journey, Matt, because then hopefully what it's going to do is lead them naturally to getting more in sync and curious and being outside in nature. It's like a journey. So why
yeah.
not use the devices? It's better than taking drugs, in my opinion. This is me being defensive about the people who are like, you don't need any devices. It's ridiculous. It's like, well, wait a minute. Let's use them judiciously and teach people about their own physiology and about how they are part of nature, and then walk them through that path to being more connected with nature, and then they can have more of a balance.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. I think our devices are a stepping stone for your own, yeah, your own knowledge and your own actions. They're really a band-aid. It's modern environments, modern buildings are just not built for with human biology in mind, both in the light environment and your temperatures. Um,
All the
it's
things.
just it's not an ideal environment, and if you're not able to get outside, or if you're not someone who's even thinking about getting outside, this is a great place to start. It yeah, like you said, opens the door, gets you aware of the problem, which is for most people that's most of the fight, is just
Yeah.
getting to the point where you're in touch with your body enough where you are aware that you're overstimulated in the evenings when you are, or that you need more light during the day when you've maybe had a long morning in bed after whatever.
Mm.
So it's yeah, I think exactly like you're saying. I think nobody really needs our devices or any light device if you're going to get extremely serious about getting outside or moving to the tropics, or just abandoning modern society and living out. But in reality, that's not what most people are able to do or can do. And so yeah,
Yeah.
until buildings are just designed in a better way, we kind of just have to build solutions that get you closer to nature within the building that you live in.
So half the country's in a northern latitude, let's be honest. So how do you, Matt, use your devices? What is your suite setup now after you've been in Washington for, I think you said 5 or 7 years? Like, how do you now marry the devices and using technology with nature?
Yeah, good question. So you know, in the mornings now, I make it a point to get up really early to see the sunrise. Not really early, but early enough to see the sunrise. I'm not, you know, I'm not getting up before the sun and hiking to the top of a mountain to see the sunrise all the time, but it happens.
Nice when
No,
it does,
so
right?
I mean, the first thing I'll do in the morning is depending on how I slept the night before. You know, sometimes I have knee or joint issues, and so I'll pull out the iron forge nearly first thing in the morning, hit my knees, just make that clicking and the burning stop. You know, easy 30 seconds there over each of my knee. And then kind of go about my day. If I'm working inside the sky portals, I have 2 sky portals at my desk and a red portal. That Yeah, that's been my mainstay. That's the
Can
the
I
original device I had that made the biggest difference.
I wanted to
Sorry?
stop you 1 second. So you have
Yeah.
a sky portal and a red portal. The red portal is what, mostly infrared, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it's a deep red and the 810 near infrared.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Yep. Yeah.
Go ahead. You were doing great. I just was curious.
Okay, no, thanks. So yeah, the sky portal's at the desk. I ideally, and I've been trying to work outside a lot more,
Mhm.
just because, yeah, I'm at the point where it's nice out and you can get outside and work. So,
Yeah.
doing all I can to spend as much time outside. And then, yeah, as the evenings roll around, in our living room, the lighting goes to our deep amber from the sky portal. Just starts to calm down, keep everything.
I'll show everybody how it changes.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
So
that's just so
that's the
nice.
lowest. So if those, whoop,
Yeah, so hard to see on camera because the exposure adjusts and everything,
yeah.
but yeah, it's a nice amber, nice deep amber color that has a it's deep red boosted. So we have additional 670 nanometer deep red in there, for that mitochondrial support, both to balance the day spectrum during the day and also for that just calming effect in the evenings. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and if I'm you know, if we're going to, you know, watch a movie or do anything in the evenings, the blue light blockers, the red glasses go on. Um, Otherwise, yeah, try to just nowadays just avoid screens as much as possible during the evening. Just try to put it down 2-3 hours before bed, and yeah, forget that exists for a few hours.
Do you
Yeah,
change
awesome.
things seasonally other than the timing? Because the shorter windows of daylight, do you change anything else like the light temperature and all that according to seasons?
Timing is the main thing. Really, you know, you don't want to be using the white channel of the sky portal or your Lux Vital too late in the evening, too close to sunset, or you're going to push your sleep back. Absolutely. I think the biggest thing that I change seasonally is yeah, how much I'm using the vitamin D, or how much I'm outside during the day, just as much as possible, really. But yeah, in the wintertime, I'll yeah, either if I am spending more time inside, the sky portals are more on the white spectrum, just a little bit more stimulating. I'm definitely using the Lux Vital during the day on any days that I'm working inside. My personal preference there is to use it around midday.
Yeah.
It's highly personal for people. A lot of people like it in the morning. Some people use it in the morning and then again around midday. For me, if I just use it in the morning, I find that I'm getting sleepy a little bit earlier in the evening than I'd prefer. So that midday exposure is lines up with nature in my eyes, where that's when I would be most stimulated anyway. So I try to match nature just as much as possible.
What's the purple wand you got here too? The opsin stimulating light. What is
Okay.
I didn't
Yeah.
see
So
that one. Where's
you got
that?
all kinds of cool things. I'm like, what is this? I'm so curious.
Wand? Ooh.
yeah.
Oh, I
So
see
that one,
it.
it actually came as a yes, yeah. That your reaction is right. Um, so it came with this device came out of a conversation with Dr. Jack Cruz about. It actually started with prostate health and about how, you know, getting sun is important for prostate health, and so we were thinking about, you know, what would how do we get light internally.
Women's health. Yeah.
This is so
Exactly.
exciting.
And
I think this is kind of cool. I'm excited about it.
yeah, and it quickly, looking at the studies around that, it came that women's health is actually fairly well studied as far as pelvic floor health, fertility. So the idea with the purple wand is, yeah, get the light where you need it.
So you're getting some UV light. Is there red in there or just UV?
Yep, no, those red, near infrared, and then the 405 violet. So not quite the UV, but we're the
Okay. I was going to say the UV might be like a little bit challenging in there.
Yes, yeah, oh yeah, we
Okay.
wouldn't do that. But just yeah, the low level of the violet is nice there.
Wow.
We've
All
had
right, Heather, something else for us to look into as we're getting older.
Oh, we need to get this and then
We
do
need
a
to
whole
get that
podcast
one
episode
going.
on
Okay.
this.
Yes, I was wondering, like, what is this for? I must ask.
Yes, yeah. No, we've had really, it hasn't been around for too long, but we've gotten great reviews from both customers trying to get pregnant, and then successfully
Nice.
being able to. We know that it's being used in two fertility clinics that I know about.
Wow.
And so yeah, they're it's another
Wow.
one of those things that until you look into the studies, you wouldn't even think about it.
So the
But
postmenopausal stuff is very intriguing for me. I'll have to read up on that, Matt.
Yeah, I think I'll have to save some money for that one. That sounds like a really great one. So
oh
awesome.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool. So let's do something on that later, Vanessa, because I think this is the first time I'm hearing of this and no one's talking about it.
Yeah.
So
I
Matt, you
actually
guys
have heard of it before, but not with any purple, just with red, just with
oh, okay. But
I
you
know
guys
they're
are
wands with
obviously
red.
way advanced here. You guys are at the
Yeah.
forefront. I love this. So speaking of fertility, how has your use of light and congratulations again, you're a newborn and you have a toddler. So how has light supported your children's health and your parenting?
Sure, yeah. So I mean, it's I think I was fortunate enough to already be inundated in how important light is before I had kids. And so from day zero, where we're getting outside during the mornings, just making sure we're getting the light exposure on the kids during the day, spending a lot of time playing outside, spent using shade, just to extend that period that you can be outside, being careful not to burn. And then I think the most impactful thing from our devices is the amber channel of the Sky Portal in the evenings is just yeah. There's nothing else that lets you read the storybooks and be able to see the pictures and satisfy the visual needs of of the kids, while being able to not push your sleep back. So
because candlelight doesn't really work with toddlers.
yeah, not quite, not hard to get it bright enough, hard to get it where you want it. There's actually fairly still large blue component in candlelight, even though it is much better.
Yeah.
But yeah, just not quite as practical with kids running around.
Yeah, no, sounds perfect. Yeah. So Matt, let's talk quickly about your blue blockers, because you sent me a pair of the red and the yellow, and I was like, I asked you before we started filming, I was like, wait, I can see like kind of like a little bit. It's kind of, even when I do it now, everything looks purple. It's so cool.
I love how they're wider because a lot of them are so
Yes.
small and that light comes on the side. I don't like it.
Yeah, they cover the surface very well. I use the yellow ones, like when I go to like food stores and things like that, where I have to be in, junk light, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
these are really doing the job. Like they're really a full coverage. So I like that too. But yeah, tell us about your red, because I really am intrigued, or tell the audience about it, because I think for people sometimes when they put the red on, they're like, I really can't see at all, and they're nervous to like walk around their home with them. But these, I feel pretty safe walking around my home, and I have very dim lighting in my home at night as well too. But I still use blue blockers because artificial lights outside are coming in and things like that. So I still throw them on. So tell people a little bit about your red blue blockers and even your yellow blue blockers that you sell. They're awesome.
Sure, yeah. So we I mean, we identified exactly what you just said is our first version of the blue blockers, carbon shades, which were actually the first ever like stylish pair of blue blocking glasses on the market ever. Before that, it was really just lab glasses, and then quickly became a popular thing. But yeah, the idea with the transmission spectrum in the nightshades, which are those red glasses, is that you so by allowing a little bit of violet light into in through the glasses, you perceptually can make out a little bit of blue. You get a little bit of that visual blue stimulation from the your cone cells, and so oh geez, sorry. So you can so just by allowing roughly 1% more violet light in versus 0, you get a lot more color perception under bad lighting conditions, where you can make out your environment a lot better. You can see a little bit more of the color in your movies, if you're watching a movie at night, or in a theater or something like that. And so it's really just finding that balance between blocking nearly all of that melanopic stimulation, so you're not pushing your sleep back while you're in these bad conditions where you would want this protection anyway, but making it a little bit more functional than like the most intense version of blue blocking, blocking all of the red and all the near infrared. And then on the flip side, the golden glow glasses, those yellow ones for during the daytime, are intended for daytime use when you're inside at a computer. The transmission spectrum on those is also really unique in that we have a there we go in that we have a transmission bump. We have more transmission right around 480, right around that again, that melanopic range, and so and then we have almost zero transmission around the that dark harsh blue, 430 to 450 60 range. So we're effectively turning off or dramatically turning down the blue pixels in your screen, while still allowing that daytime stimulation to melanopsin. So you'll find that you have more focus, that you're not getting drowsy when you're putting them on. It's good like late afternoon, or afternoon, for me, to where I know I've had enough stimulation during the day, and it's kind of time to start winding down, but I don't want to get sleepy yet. So it's a good. I find myself using them in the afternoons, more so. But again, only when you're inside at a computer. You don't really want to be wearing any of these glasses outside. If you're outside on a screen, you're covering yourself already.
Yeah, you're good. Awesome.
So many good things. So if somebody's brand new to this and they're thinking, oh my gosh, I have to up-level my light environment, and they come to your website, where do you want them to start? Like, how would you get them in the best footing?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, if you're someone who's like just finding out about light having a huge impact on your biology, I'd say the first thing you should do is just go outside. Just go outside. You don't need to buy anything right away. Just get yourself outside more. Make a point to maybe even eat your breakfast outside, or take a brief walk before or after you eat. Yeah, getting more natural light is the answer. It's all of our devices are kind of band-aids. It's a good next step. So I think if you're doing that and you're seeing an improvement, you're almost certainly will see an improvement by getting more sunlight in your life. But if you want to take that one step further, or you are someone who works inside, I think the Sky Portal, our Sky Portal device, is the obvious first device to get. Just yeah, get that light into your workspace, right on your body, right in your eyes, and that's yeah, definitely the most high leverage, impactful device that you can start with.
Yeah, sounds like a great place. And get some blue blockers too for nighttime, as well.
Absolutely.
So like if you are in those environments, because it's really important to preserve that melatonin. So that's like another great thing. But I love, yeah, like your authenticity of like, yeah, I make these products that are, great, really good supportive, but like get outside like that. I love that, because that's our message too. Like, yeah, I have a red light therapy panel. I got a Spurdy, right? Like I said, and now I have a Sky Portal, but I would rather be outside anytime if I
Oh
can be.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That
Oh
is,
yeah.
and most people when they tune into that, we're drawn to it. We want to be there, like, oh yeah, I want to be out there. Like that feels good just in general. So yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
it's one of those things where as soon as you're aware of it, it's so obvious, and it makes such a difference on how you're feeling.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you were saying earlier, Heather, it's part of the idea with the Sky Portal is just the awareness. It's bringing the awareness to you use this for a few days and you feel better and you're like, oh man, this is a real phenomenon. This is something that I need to apply to the rest of my life. And
Yeah.
in what situations am I blasting myself with harsh dark blue light when I don't need to be, or where am I spending more time inside than I really do need to.
Mm.
Um, and a lot of times that's not optional in the evenings. You either have to work late, you have meetings, you have something going on where you have to be using a screen in the evening. And so that's why we have the glasses, that's why we have the amber channel. It's you don't you get yourself as close to nature as you can. um yeah, that's really the bottom line. Is just get closer to nature and you're going to feel better.
Yep, love it. So definitely check out Chroma for you guys. Check out the website as well. There'll be linked in the show notes below. And also, you're looking into something with seed oils. I'm just looking. You sent that at the bottom, right? There's something, another product that you guys are doing with. It looked like macadamia oil and coconut oil, right? Like a healthier oil for us to be using to cook with. So that sounds really cool too. That's another
Yeah,
avenue.
yeah.
That's your next adventure kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're really as a company where we've identified a few like key points that are these high leverage things that if you make little changes in your life, you can make a huge outcome difference. And so that's obviously light, darkness, heat and coolness at night. Keeping your bedroom a cool temperature. So
Mhm.
we're relaunching our cold bed pillow in the coming well,
Nice.
probably next year we'll have that launched if everything goes
Fun.
smoothly. Um, but yeah, and then outside of environmental factors like that, the oils, the fats that you're putting in your body are probably one of the next most impactful things for your health. Is if you're eating a bunch of seed oils, a bunch of seed oils on the self. That's another thing where really seed oil is kind of a blanket term that doesn't necessarily tell you that the thing is bad. It's really the linoleic acid levels that you're looking at, which is just one of the fatty acids that is in seed oils. It's very prevalent in like soybean oil,
Mhm.
canola. A lot of these are 30 to 60% plus linoleic acid, and that's just highly inflammatory. Really not great for your gut, for your body, for your brain. So the idea with the Lola oil is yep, like you said, it's a macadamia and refined coconut oil mix that's very flavor neutral oil that has an extremely low level of that linoleic acid.
Mm.
Well, the coconut brings benefits for the MCTs and the just the energy factor there for your brain. And then you get uniquely you get the omega 7s from macadamia oil, which also has impacts on metabolism. Um, so yeah, we're just really trying to come up with solutions that can scale to the world, that reduce the level of linoleic acid. And this is kind of our first foray into that. Is a home cooking oil that's a little bit more on the premium side, but really cuts down on the linoleic acid and gives you a lot of benefits.
Yeah.
And then in the future, that's going to expand to restaurant variations of this oil that's comes in at
I love
a
it.
little bit lower price point, but where restaurants can actually afford to switch out from their terrible oils into something that's going to make their customers both feel better and not get as sick in their lives.
Well, that's a good avenue because restaurant eating can be quite challenging because most are using seed oils, and you want to stay away from those industrial seed oils. Those corn, cottonseed, all those kind of grapeseed, all those oils. Because they are oxidized. Really, using at high temperature is not the way to go, and it's hard to find good oils. With olive oil and even coconut, even not coconut, avocado. They're not really great either. Usually cut with other things. It's hard to find a good product. And we do want some levels of healthy linoleic acid, as Heather and I have learned from our courses with Justine Stanger, and we've had a podcast with her because it is an important essential fatty acid. So we don't want to be cutting it out completely, but we've swung the way too far the other way with unhealthy forms of linoleic acid now that are highly heated and oxidized and all that. We want to have some healthy forms of it, but we don't want to, that should not be our main source of fatty acids, right? Those are unhealthy.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
that's that's kind of follows the theme again of just getting closer to nature. It's
Yeah.
hard to find anything in nature where you're at 60% linoleic acid. And so yeah,
Wow.
I totally agree with what you said. It's about reducing it and getting back to a more sane ratio.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, Matt, this has been such a fun
I
conversation.
was going to say, I really appreciate that you are using the refined coconut oil. I know refined has such a negative connotation, but
Hmm.
this I don't like coconut flavor. I don't like coconut that much at all, but the refined, which I think is just a natural process to remove the odor. Am I right, Matt?
I believe so. I'm not terribly deep on that side, but
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
But that
it
makes it
is
more
odor free.
versatile and it doesn't smell like coconut. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
We love the
that
smell
was
of
the
coconut,
design goal.
Heather.
Is a very flavor neutral oil. Yeah, and because
I like coconut. I like the smell. I like cooking with it. You make some like zucchini and shrimp with coconut on, like a good coconut oil. It's good. I like that.
yeah, yeah. And sorry, just real quick, because you mentioned the olive oil is often cut with other
Oh,
cheap oils,
always. Yes.
and that's like actually really hard, if not impossible, to detect, just because olive oil has some linoleic acid in it anyway. And if you're cutting that with, say, 10%, or even if the supplier, if you're a manufacturer and you're could be being scammed by your supplier, cutting your oils with maybe 10% soybean or something like that, which will save a decent chunk of change on the producer side. But yeah, it's undetectable because your the level of linoleic acid is changing by such a small amount that you're still generally within like the natural variance. So that adulteration is really hard to detect. Where with the coconut macadamia blend, because our linoleic acid levels are so low, and because we have that omega 7 marker with the macadamia oil, we're very confident that we are getting what we say we're getting. That you're getting the macadamia, you're getting the coconut, and you're not getting cut with anything else.
Well, that's good to hear. The and olive oil actually is not supposed to be used at high temperature anyway. So it shouldn't
Exactly.
really be used for cooking that way. If you're going to find, if you do find a very good source, I actually know a good source. It's Little Gypsy Farm, if anybody wants to know. It's quite expensive. It's going to cost you a lot more to pay for a good quality olive oil. But if you want to get a good quality olive oil, it's really used as a finishing oil anyway, or very low heat if you're cooking with it. So either way, it's not really it's not really your main oil that you could use to cook with, is the point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to be taken wrong here. I'm not saying olive oil is bad at all. I think
Yeah.
olive oil is fantastic if you can get actual olive oil. And
Mhm.
like you're saying, yeah, there are definitely avenues to do that.
Yeah.
And
Right.
even the variety within the oils themselves, like even the soybean and the peanut oil, there are different varieties of a lot of these crops that are low linoleic, or
Mm,
high oleic is how they're marketed. That are much better options at scale.
mm, mm. Yeah.
This
Okay.
has been fantastic. We are so excited to I want to try the oil for sure. I'm going to buy some of that.
Yeah.
So just to promote your products, Matt, I mean, I can tell how high quality they are, and you sound like you're just, I mean, you're in it for the heart, right? Like you came into it for your own health, and then you believed in this product and the mission and the founders' work, and you've just made it come to life, really. It's thriving now, it seems like, because I see you guys online, see other people promoting you. So I'm really happy to see that. So thank you so much for your time, and we really appreciate you coming on today. And people go find these products. Vanessa, where can they find them?
Yeah, get to Chroma, go check it out. And yeah, we're really excited to share this with our audience, Matt. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you for your time, both of you.